Hey guys, what's going on? In this video, I wanted to make a guide for beginners into bodybuilding. So I've been bodybuilding since I was about 16, turning 17. So it's been a while now. I'm 34 as of in this video. So I've been training for a while and I have a lot of experience. Starting out though was very vivid for me. I remember it perfectly. I remember who I admired and I still admire those kind of people today. Back when I started, there wasn't anything like influencers online. It was back around 2007. So what I would do is look up the old school bodybuilders. I'm talking about Mike Mentzer, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all these kind of people I looked up to. And it was just a fantastic time. I never really copied their routines though. So in this video though, I wanted to talk about what you need, how you need to think, what the mental framework should be while you're in the gym as a beginner, and what equipment you should use, as well as what kind of programs you should stick to if you want to make the most out of your time in the gym. So the first thing is that you don't need to go to a gym to actually start. So if you want, and you're just a complete beginner, maybe your pull-ups are weak, your dips are weak as well, you can do these exercises at a playground or anywhere really that has two stable points, either on the pull-up bar or dips. You could even use two chairs or do some push-ups. So these kind of exercises will prepare you for weight training, because if you've never weight trained before, your body needs time to adapt. Your central nervous system needs to understand what's going on. But the first thing you definitely need is a water bottle. Whether your gym has a fountain or not, sometimes you may have to leave your equipment to go to the water fountain. And if you don't have a water bottle, then you'll be doing that frequently, as you need a lot of water when you're doing those high volume kind of workouts. Water bottle minimum, it should be 500 millimeters, but I recommend it should be around 1.5 liters, 1 liter minimum. But of course you need to adapt yourself to drinking that much water. But trust me, your body is made out of water, so it makes sense to stay hydrated. When you're working out, you're gonna need more water, and your muscles are using water in fact. So important thing is to have a water bottle. Shoes should be flat. It should have a flat sole, or no shoes at all would work. You don't really need shoes. But for weightlifting, your feet need to learn how to, if your feet has muscles, and it can build those muscles if you're working with very minimal shoes or in barefoot. If you can go barefoot, it's even better. But trust me, your feet will build muscles and it will look better than the average foot. So I've had people compliment my feet before, and I do a lot of barefoot running, barefoot exercises, and it just works really well for shaping that foot. I'm not lying to you, but shoes should be flat sole. Something cheap could work, like Vans, something that puts you as close to the ground as possible, because if it's elevated with cushion, that's going to mess with your stability, and that could lead to weaker ankles, and you'll just be more vulnerable to injuries. You don't want that. You want strong feet. That's the end of that story. But clothes should be flexible. You should have your plan as well. That's like on your phone or something, or a piece of paper. But for personal attire, you need flexible clothes, something you can do squats in, and you need to have a water, and you need to have a water bottle, like 100%. You need to have a water bottle. And let me just check what I wrote down here. And so going to the gym. So the gym is a very mixed place. It can be very mixed. You'll have people who don't really know what they're doing, but they're learning like you. Maybe they're beginners. You have those hardcore gym goers who are in there focused with their headphones in, and they look like they're angry or focused. They're not making eye contact. And then there's people who take it easy. They know what they're doing, but they don't really push themselves. And so you don't want to compare yourself to these kind of people. Everyone starts somewhere. Everyone starts from square zero. They start from the very beginning of the weights. They don't start with 500 pounds in their back doing squats when they're a baby. So you do need to have your own mindset that focuses on yourself and how you can improve on that self, so you can become the better version of yourself. You need to improve and find ways to level up yourself, not to level up what you think you should be compared to other people, but Set standards for yourself, know what your limits are, and understand that everyone starts somewhere. And the worst thing you can do is have a big ego and be a beginner and try to lift way above your max. That will lead to injuries early on and you won't be able to continue. So it's better to train smart. Everyone starts somewhere. But the next thing is practice your form. Practice it like no tomorrow. In between sets, before sets, after sets, check what you did wrong, check what you can improve on next. There's always something. And even for me, who is someone who's been training for a decade, more than a decade now, there's always something I can improve or something I neglect, and these can be weaknesses that will ultimately shape how well you can train. And a lot of these things can lead to bigger injuries, so having those kind of small mistakes is a bad thing. You can improve on it, right? It's not bad to look at yourself and see what you did wrong so you can improve on yourself for next time. Master your form, look in the mirror. You might look weird, I do it all the time. For the bench press, I put my back and my shoulders back, and I try to push my chest out, and I just check where my elbow is. And sometimes when you do the exercise, your form looks different than what you think it looks, but just being conscious of where the hands are and where your body is in terms of the exercises and those reps. But really focus on the muscles and engaging those muscles. And so creating a workout split. The worst thing you could do is follow someone else's split who's way above your belt, who lifts more than you and has been lifting for a long time. You want a routine that's proven to work for beginners. You want something that's barbell focused or dumbbell focused and that has some machines, but most of your gains will come from compound lifts. And learning those lifts will be important, and mastering them will be vital for your long-term success. But if you're doing the squats, the bench press, deadlifts, pull-ups, and overhead shoulder press, those exercises will be what shapes your body the most and in the shortest amount of time. But there's workouts and programs like 5x5 where it's 5 exercises and in 5 lifts, 5 sets. Something like this could work really well for beginners. And basically all you need is dumbbells or barbells to do the whole program, and it's fantastic. Leveling up on your program. So each program generally takes around 6 to 12 weeks, and sometimes you can do the same program again and it'll show you how you can level up. So for example, sometimes you may hit a PR in your last cycle in the program, which happened between 4 to 8 weeks or 12 weeks. And then you try to work from there and you adjust your working sets according to the new PR, because as you get stronger, you'll be able to push more weight, obviously. So it makes sense to know what your maximum is and then try to work from there, whether it's for 6 to 12 reps or 3 reps or 1 rep. But there's a lot of calculators. There's a lot of calculators online as well. There's one on my website where you can figure out what your max is depending on how many reps you did the weight with. So how can you be confident while you're in the gym? As a beginner, it's hard. It's a lot going on. There's pounding, there's noises, there's pounding of the weights, there's people talking, people shouting, there's music going on, and you just don't know if someone's gonna come up and run to the next machine or they're in a rush. And you have to be aware if someone is coming your way. But for example, someone might be doing those tire things and you could be walking across the path where they're doing it. Just being conscious of where and what is going on around you generally is important. But trust me, no one is really looking at you or your exercises. Everyone is looking at themselves. But just being confident about yourself, knowing what you're going to do before you get to the gym will allow you to be more confident. Just look and perform better compared to someone who goes to the gym without a plan. So have a plan written down, whether it's on paper, phone, or you just know it, and know what you're going to do next after the exercise you're already doing. So that way you're already thinking about if the machine is being used or not, if equipment that you need is being used. I mean, yeah, stay hydrated is super important. Supplements is not necessary, but it's a nice tool to have. And one of the most proven supplements to use is creatine. Creatine is one of the most proven, and the best form to get is creatine monohydrate. So there's literally hundreds of studies on creatine, tons of research over tons of years, and it's proven to be safe, effective, and you need to use it. I think, in my opinion, unless you have something that stops you from using it, maybe some history of organ problems, but if you don't, then you should be taking creatine. Creatine is super good. It's the natty steroid, but it's not a steroid. It's completely natural. It comes from red meats and fish, but they're in tiny amounts, so you do need to get a supplement to make the most out of it. But for diet, I mean, the most important thing is to have good quality sources of protein, which means you should be having eggs. You should be having meat if you can. But if you're vegan, I don't know how you can maximize your gains, but I do know that there's a lot of vegan sources of protein, so make the most out of them. And it's not necessary to eat them before your workout. Literally, you can eat it the day before and you can have a good workout the next day. But it will take time. If you're training fasted, it will take time for you to get used to it. You may feel different or weaker in the first couple of weeks, but you get used to it and you'll feel strong. Trust me. I've been through phases where I eat or don't eat, and I do get, even if I eat before the workout, it does take me a few days to get back into the routine of fasting before I work out. And yeah, hopefully this video helps you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. And one thing you could do is hit the like button and you'll make more gains.